So guys, the Pittsburgh Steelers finally played their first preseason game of the year, and this really was one of those off seasons that created a ton of speculation about this team. Obviously, I don't expect the Steelers to be like contenders, but I do think they kind of shifted gears and they are trying to build from the ground up. And a lot of that started in what they did in the draft by taking Jack Sawyer off the board from the Ohio State University, and then Yahya, which again, just such a fun name to say. He's an intriguing prospect as well that they took to fix up the defensive line as well. And both of these guys really showed some flashes of dominance in game one. And again, I know it's just a preseason setting and people really like to overreact, but you would rather see the rookies play good than bad. And in this video, I kind of want to walk you guys through everything you need to know from this win. I want to break down some of the footage, talk about news going on with this team, and so much more. But first, before I do begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, and your support truly means the world. So again, since this was just a preseason game, we really did not get to see a lot of the main players offensively. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers and Will Howard did not play. I definitely want to see Howard out there eventually because he's more talented than a lot of people think. But it was Mason Rudolph and Skylar Thompson for this one, and honestly, they played really well overall. In terms of the position players, Darnell Washington showed why he can be a red zone threat. He's 6'7", 265 pounds, and he caught a 19-yard strike close to the end zone. I believe I have his catch in the vault, which I will break down momentarily. Keyshawn Williams, the undrafted rookie wide receiver, led all the receiving unit with 2 catches for 55 yards and a touchdown, and he sort of had a viral touchdown catch where he somehow outmaneuvered his defender, and he really showed why he has the potential to make the 53-man roster when week 1 finally arrives. Alright, so let's get into some of the footage, and this is just completely random. It's not in any specific order according to the game and like the quarters and stuff. It's just random clips from different players, both offensively and defensively, that I wanted to talk about. So let's start off defensively. Here we have a 4-man front, but really it's 5 with number 33 Jack Sawyer out on the edge. And the first thing I notice is the instant respect. Throwing 2 guys on him, I know it was kind of the play concept, but it gave Sawyer nowhere to go, and this was a fantastic read by the middle linebacker and Peyton Wilson, who was taken 98th overall in last year's draft by Pittsburgh. He did not overreact to the offense, and he just stayed back and waited until he saw who number 76 was blocking, and he took the one-on-one matchup with ETN and made the low tackle, sort of tripping him up. Now here on this play, I want you to watch number 31, Beanie Bishop, the whole way, because this was just an incredible read. As soon as we see the motion, he sprints to the other side of the field, and this was great blocking. He was literally the only one there to stop the damage, and that's exactly what he did. It's hard to tackle one-on-one on a moving play like this, and even though he got knocked backwards, which was going to happen because of the momentum, he slowed down enough for the other guys to gang up to finish the job. Now here we got an empty backfield and 4-man front, and once again, this was just great instincts by Beanie Bishop. I know the pass was still completed, but it's not always about the result in a preseason setting, and this was only a short gain. But watch how he stays in his flat knowing that there's deep help behind him and how he gets over to the other passing lane. This type of read is how you get those pick sixes the one time out of every 100 where the quarterback underthrows it. So honestly, Bishop did everything correct on this play and made the tackle, keeping it to only a 6 or 7 yard gain on 1st and 20. Alright, now to the offensive side of things. We're starting out with Mason Rudolph in shotgun formation, 4 receivers out wide, 2 to each side, and I want you to zero in on Scotty Miller and this curl, because this is the type of play that will beat zone and force a defense to adjust. Number 0 had no clue where he was the entire play past the line of scrimmage. Really, there were 3 open receivers on this play, and solid job by Mason Rudolph for not hesitating and firing a strike right where the football needed to be. Now back in shotgun, we have Darnell Washington lined up as the sniffer. Initially it looks like he could just be blocking, but he exploded out past the secondary, who once again is in a zone, and he just gets himself wide open to where there's nobody within 5 yards in any direction of him. I mean, this is just one of the easiest completions of Mason Rudolph's entire life. He put it where only Washington could get it, and he hauled it in for the touchdown. Simple plays like this will win you football games, and it really seems like Mike Tomlin and Archer's play calling against zone is sharp even in the first game of the year. Now here, back in shotgun, as we saw for most of this game, there are 4 receivers out wide, 2 on each side, and I honestly don't really understand what this coverage is. Obviously the Jags were back in zone, but they literally were just setting this offense up for success. Unless it's like 1st and 30, this is just an easy 5-yard gain every time, and Brandon Johnson knew exactly what to do. I thought this football was for sure going to Scotty Miller at first, but either way, it was a good decision by Thompson to take the easy 3 to 4 yard gain, and I mean, that's just as good as a first down run. Any positive gain is better than nothing. But it didn't stop there, because on the very next play, the Jags did make the switch to playing more man with the corners, and this is just your classic example of winning a one-on-one matchup. Nothing special, but he beat his man, and that was not an easy catch at all, with 2 guys collapsing in on him, but he made the play, setting up the red zone opportunity, and in a 2-minute drill, those 2 passes set the Steelers up in a spot where the clock was no longer a factor, and they could just take their time and make the right decision for what was next. And in a 2-minute drill, those 2 passes set the Steelers up in a spot where the clock was no longer a factor and they could take their time to decide what was coming next. And then back in shotgun, the Steelers ran a double crosser in both directions. Sometimes teams like to try to bend the rules and get in the way of one of the defenders with a pick. Obviously you can't actually set a pick, but it was not even needed on this play because Max had a step, and from there he just ran a little comeback route and hauled in the touchdown. So some simple stuff there. Nothing the Steelers ran in this game was too complex, but they executed when they had to, both offensively and defensively. I think they really showed flashes of brilliance. I know I did not show a lot of footage of it because there were not like a lot of highlight plays in this game, but I really thought that Jack Sawyer and Yahya, which is just such a fun name to say, had really good games and showed tendencies of NFL caliber D linemen. I was so mad when the Steelers stole Sawyer in the draft the way they did. It felt like such a Pittsburgh pick at the time, and it still does now, and I think he is going to have a great career developing under a guy like TJ Watt. After the game was over, Mike Tomlin spoke to the media, which I know he loves doing, I'm just kidding, for a little bit, talking about how things went and how he kind of felt, and here were some of the best things that he had to say.
Just evaluating our overall progress in all areas, and not only that, but plotting a course for this next block of days. We've been in the stadium now, and I'm always interested in the step forward individually and collectively after having an in-stadium experience. I thought we had a good spirited practice today. You can't waste days. Guys didn't warm up to it, and that's kind of a charge of ours to come out of an off day and really get back to business, and I felt that from them. We're continuing to work a bunch of situations. This game is about situations. It's been good days. We got 90 guys out here, man. Cam's been doing this a long time. I don't work Cam a lot in these scenarios. Anyway, I need to know more about Derek Harmon, Y.A. Black, and others, Logan Lee. And so that's been the mindset that I've approached it.
That's really all I have to say for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point, and if you did and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe because your support truly means the world. And also let me know what you would like to see next, and until then, I will see you all later.